Hi, and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto Podcast. My name's Chris, and it's fantastic to have you back with us for another video. And in today's video, we're going to cover the latest headlines and cover some really important news that I think people should really just sort of digest and be aware of, right? If you enjoy this sort of content, mash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video. Don't forget to jump in the Discord. There's over 5,000 people in the Discord now, supporting one another, navigate the space safely. It's a fantastic community, definitely worth immersing yourself in a fantastic community during a bear market within a recession. I think it's really, really valuable. Right, let's get down to the desktop. Okay, so we're going to start here, and the first thing that I want to cover off is just a little bit about exchanges. Obviously, I've highlighted about 5 different platforms, not just exchanges but lending protocols as well, that I have concerns over. Links to the Discord are in the description of this video. All details are there and the reasoning behind I have concerns. I don't feel that all the dominoes have quite fallen just yet, so if you're starting to become more and more comfortable with exchanges, my message to you is preserve capital and make sure that you understand the risks that you hold and that you're comfortable with them, right? Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor. Treat this as educational purposes only. Go away, do your own research and see whether things resonate with you, and owning the risk and having accountability is so important in this space, and it's one thing that I think needs to improve. So the first thing that I want to cover off here is Binance deploys another $1 billion to keep crypto industry afloat after the FTX collapse. At least that's how the headline is being articulated. Basically, what this actually means is that they've deployed another $1 billion to a fund which is basically there as like I guess some sort of recovery fund, if something was to go wrong with Binance. And as much as $2 billion is an awful lot of money, is it enough with the number of users utilizing Binance? It probably isn't, but I think the intent from ZZ is there, and I think that he's done a fantastic job. I really rate actually how he's conducted himself in the space, and I know there's a few hiccups that here and there. We're human, right? I think it's easy to perhaps post an incorrect piece on Twitter, for example, and then remove it and correct yourself. I think is fantastic. So a lot of people sort of gave him a bit of backlash for that. I'm not amongst those individuals, but basically the fund is now standing at $2 billion at the point that I record this video, and I think this is it should give, I guess, customers on Binance a bit more what's the word, reassurance that the actual Binance platform is in a really good and healthy place. And I think that's kind of how ZZ has articulated it in interviews and stuff like that. But what I always say is take what people say in this space with a pinch of salt and go back it up with on-chain data. There's a number of different Twitter handles you can follow that really dig into the actual analytics and the on-chain data that give you more of a glimpse of what's actually happening behind the curtain. I think if you've got time to do that, definitely worth I encourage you to go and find those resources. We will share some in the Discord that I rate personally, so do jump down there. Now I think there's like I say, more contagion left. So just be aware and perhaps don't feel safe just yet. The other thing to mention is obviously Ledger do have a deal on at the moment where you can get 10% off. Link is in the description if you're interested in getting a hardware wallet and taking your crypto off of exchanges. Senate raises concerns over the lack of checks for crypto businesses seeking financial services license. So I'm not going to get into the article, but the scrutiny should have happened before, and I think this screams volumes around where we are from a regulatory viewpoint, not just in crypto, but across all the different financial instruments. I think that it shouldn't take a catastrophe like FTX to basically put us in the right place and the right frame that we should have already been in. Let's be honest, this isn't the first time we've had a collapse in a financial market. Why is it that FTX is now a mechanism for regulators and I guess regulators and financial leaders in sort of governments to start to utilize the FTX scenario as a catalyst for improvement? The improvement should have happened before. I always kind of say people should look in the mirror. I talk about retail taking more accountability for the decisions that they're making in the space, and those decisions can be who are you following, right? And if they constantly get it wrong and you continue to follow them, then to be honest, I think you've only got yourselves to blame. Now, it's same with regulators. It shouldn't take something to go wrong for regulators to go, oh, you know what, we need to probably look at some of these, companies in a bit more detail. Maybe we shouldn't just take a fraudster's word for it, that they've got funds to back up what they're saying. Maybe we should actually do an audit and we should maybe look at it. This is stuff that I think should have already happened. I think it's disgusting and speaks volumes for where we are currently. And yeah, look, I'm going to leave it there because I think a lot of these people need to, have some self-reflection and take some accountability for the situation that we're in this space. The SEC, we could have had clarity for cryptocurrency, better and safer environment for retail investors and institutional investors as well. They've been caught out as well. I think, there's a lot of people that need to look in the mirror, if I'm honest. And then we've got here, so we got Matrix Port looks to raise 100 million at a $1.5 billion valuation. Again, this is looking to basically custody and it's basically an exchange looking to do something very similar to all the other exchanges out there. Again, are they going to be able to raise the funds? I mean, they have 10 billion in assets under management and custody, which is a huge amount. It's going to be interesting to see whether, they actually manage to raise the money, because, some people will put statistics out there saying that, there is investment available and, basically VCs are continuing to invest throughout the crypto winter. I understand differently. So just be careful with some of the articles that come out. They're not actually aligned to what's actually happening in the real world. UK bank Sterling, I think that's Starling, bans crypto-related purchases and deposits, citing high risk. And this is something that I mentioned earlier. We had Santander put limits on. I said that this was going to be another domino effect. Go back through the channel to verify what I'm saying here. I did call out that this is what we should expect to happen, and we're seeing it. And it's almost like we do have a crystal ball here at Cheeky Crypto. Basically, look, they're basically putting a ban on customers purchasing with their bank cards and receiving crypto from transfers from merchants. This is not good for the adoption of cryptocurrency. I've said this again. It's going to support with that narrative of we're going down. If people can't buy it because they haven't got the money, that's one person that can't buy crypto. There's altogether another individual that perhaps does have money still left over, has managed to keep their job throughout this recession, but they can't buy it because their bank says no. Look, we need to, as retail, we need to take accountability and say, look, I want to spend my money, my effing money, on whatever the F I want. And if you're not going to facilitate these payments, then I'm going to move to a different bank. Banks, kind of feel like they're in control here. And if we let them be in control and dictate what we can and we can't buy, then I don't think this is a good situation moving forward. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. We should be making and forcing these banks to reverse some of the stupid rules and stuff that they're putting in place. You have to go into a bank these days if you want to withdraw like something as little as $5,000 or £5,000 in the UK, for example. You are basically having to tell all these bank people what it is that you want to buy, and they're going to make a decision as to whether you get your own money out of the bank in order to buy what you want to buy. It's ridiculous, and this needs to change. This is all new levels of control, and it's your money, not the bank's money. Remember that, right? These banks need to get in line, in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. UK lawmakers support easy seizure of crypto linked to terrorist activity. Completely agree with this sort of stuff. This stuff, I agree wholeheartedly needs to improve. I think it's great that we're seeing this sort of stuff. I thought I'd raise it as something to highlight, a little bit of positivity amongst an awful lot of shit that's happening in this space right now. Again, I think this is good, and it ties in a lot with what I've said about when I think the bottom is going to be in for the crypto market. I don't think the bottom's going to be in, before these governments start to sell off the crypto that they hold. And I don't know quite what that mechanism is going to be that, makes that happen, that they sell. But the US has over $4 billion worth of cryptocurrency. China has over $6 billion worth of cryptocurrency. I dread to think how much the UK has and other countries around the world. But I'm telling you now, if they decide to sell those cryptos, auction it off or whatever, that's an awful lot of cryptocurrency that is going to land in the market. I expect this to happen, and I think that's going to be the mechanism for the bottom. Everybody talks about FTX and that being the reason why we're getting these lower lows, and if we hadn't have had FTX we wouldn't see these lower lows. I completely disagree with this narrative. It was just a little bit of something that was needed in order to move this fragile market down to these lower lows. FTX was that mechanism, and had it not been for FTX we might not be at these prices right now, but I still see these prices we're at now in the future had FTX not failed. And when I say failed, hadn't been caught out as being a fraud is probably the right way to articulate it. So look, I think that there's a few more mechanisms that need to play out in the real world for us to see those proper bottoms come in, or bottom come in for Bitcoin. And I'm willing to watch this all play out over the next 4 to 6 months. Look, you're watching a channel that have called the bottom in June, then said that it wasn't, and then told you there were going to be lower lows. We've had 4 or 5 new lower lows since June that lots of people that you were probably watching on YouTube and reading through their tweets were telling you the bottom was already in and that you would regret not buying. We've kind of held the line, towed it well, and kept true and honest to ourselves in how we saw the market played out impeccably well as we articulated it over the previous months. I don't think that's going to be something that changes. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, mash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, tap in that bell, selecting all the notifications so you never miss a video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.